Hi, I am Gabby.
Hi, I am James. Together we're preparing for
ACCAF 5 exam. Today we are going to talk about
Breakeven, contribution and profit volume charts for single product.
James. Please teach me to draw charts.
Let us start with a basic breakeven chart. In a basic breakeven chart, the x-axis represents production and sales, and y-axis represents costs and revenues. The following lines are drawn: fixed cost line, total cost line, and sales revenue line. The break-even point is where the sales revenue line and total cost line intersect. I'll explain in more detail on the basis of an example in the next slide. Step 1. Draw the axes and label them. The furthest point on the vertical axis will be total sales revenue. That is, the furthest point on the horizontal axis will be sales volume of 5,000 units. Step 2. Draw the fixed cost line and label it. This will be a straight line parallel to the horizontal axis at the $30,000 level. The $30,000 fixed costs are incurred even with zero activity. Step 3. Draw the total cost line and label it. In order to do this, calculate total costs for the maximum sales level, 5,000 units. Mark this point on the graph and join it to the cost incurred at zero activity. That is $30,000. Step 4. Draw the revenue line and label it. The best way is to plot extreme points. We have already calculated the revenue at maximum level, $200,000. This point can be joined to the origin, since there will be no sales revenue at zero activity. Step 5. Mark any required information on the chart and read off solutions as required. Check the figures for break-even point, the margin of safety, and the profit. The completed chart is shown in the next slide.
What about the contribution and profit volume charts?
A contribution chart or contribution break-even chart is based on the same principles, but it shows the variable cost line instead of the fixed cost line. You can see it in the next slide. Finally, the profit volume chart plots a single line depicting the profit or loss at each level of activity. The vertical axis shows profits and losses. The horizontal axis represents sales volume either in the number of units or in terms of money. The profit volume chart is shown in the next slide.
That's end of the lesson.